Before we start, quick like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. The words came out of her mouth on a Tuesday night while I was loading the dishwasher. Not during a fight. Not after months of visible tension. Just Tuesday, between the salad plates and the coffee mugs. "I think we should open our marriage," Rachel said, leaning against the counter with her arms crossed like she was proposing we switch cable providers. I stopped mid-reach, a plate in my hand, and turned to look at her. My brain did that thing where it tries to rewrite what it just heard into something that makes sense. "What?" I asked. "An open marriage," she repeated, calmer than anyone should be when dropping a grenade into a kitchen. "We've been together 8 years. Maybe we need to explore other connections. It doesn't mean we love each other less. It means we're mature enough to acknowledge that one person can't meet all our needs." I set the plate down carefully, the kind of careful you use when you're trying not to break something that's already broken. "Where is this coming from?" I asked. She shrugged. "I've been reading about it. Listening to podcasts. A lot of couples are doing it now. It's healthy." "Healthy," I repeated, like I was testing the word for poison. "Yeah. Boundaries, honesty, freedom. We'd still be us. We'd just have space to grow." I dried my hands on the towel, slow and deliberate, because my thoughts were moving faster than I could catch them. "You've been thinking about this for a while." "A few months," she admitted. I didn't want to bring it up until I was sure it made sense. A few months. That landed different. That meant she'd been planning, researching, building a case, while I'd been loading dishwashers and thinking we were fine. "And you think it makes sense now?" I said. "I think it could save us from getting stale." "Stale?" I nodded, still holding the towel. "Right. Because nothing says fresh like your wife asking permission to sleep with other people." Her face tightened. "Don't be reductive. This isn't about sex. It's about connection, growth, autonomy." "Autonomy," I echoed. "You want autonomy from your husband." "I want both of us to have options," she corrected. "You could see other people too. It's equal." I laughed. Not because anything was funny, but because the alternative was throwing the plate I was still holding. "Let me get this straight," I said. "You want me to be okay with you dating other men while we're married? And in exchange, I get the privilege of doing the same thing I have zero interest in doing." "You're being closed-minded." "I'm being married," I shot back. That was the whole point of the vows. Forsaking all others. Remember that part? She sighed like I was the one being difficult. "Times change. People evolve. I thought you'd be mature enough to have this conversation." "I am having it," I said. "And my answer is no." Her jaw tightened. "Just like that? No discussion? You want a discussion?" I set the towel down and faced her fully. "Fine. Here's mine. If you need other men to feel fulfilled, then I'm not enough. And if I'm not enough, we shouldn't be married. That's the discussion." She stared at me like I'd just failed a test she'd spent weeks preparing me for. "You're being dramatic," she said finally. "I'm being clear," I corrected. "You don't get to rewrite our marriage halfway through because you got bored. If you want out, say it. But don't dress it up like personal growth." She grabbed her phone off the counter and walked toward the bedroom. "I'm not doing this when you're being impossible." I finished loading the dishwasher in silence. My hands moved on autopilot while my brain tried to process what had just happened. 8 years. We'd been together 8 years. We had a house, a life, plans for next summer. And she wanted to open it all up like a grocery store with a free sample table. I didn't sleep that night. I lay on my side of the bed while she lay on hers, both of us pretending the canyon between us was normal. Around 3 a.m., I made a decision. I wasn't going to fight about this. I wasn't going to negotiate or compromise or meet her halfway on something that had no middle ground. I was going to protect myself. The next morning, I called my buddy Derek. He's been through a divorce, the ugly kind, and he'd told me once that the biggest mistake he made was waiting too long to get legal advice. "You need a name?" he asked after I gave him the short version. "Yeah," I said. "Someone good. I'll text you." "And brother, I'm sorry. This sucks." "It does," I agreed. "But I'd rather suck now than bleed out over the next 5 years." By noon, I had an appointment scheduled with an attorney named Patricia Voss. Her assistant said she had an opening Friday morning. I took it. Rachel didn't bring it up again for 2 days. She moved through the house like everything was normal, making coffee, asking about my day, laughing at something on her phone. I played along because I wasn't ready to show my hand yet. On Thursday night, she tried a different approach. She made dinner, my favorite, lasagna with garlic bread, and poured me a glass of wine without asking. "I've been thinking," she said, sitting across from me with her own glass. Maybe I came at this wrong the other night. I cut into the lasagna and waited. I don't want to hurt you, she continued. That's the last thing I want. But I also don't want us to end up resenting each other because we didn't evolve. Evolve, I repeated, chewing slowly. Yeah, grow, change, try new things. And by new things, you mean new people. She hesitated, then nodded. In a controlled, honest way. Yes. I set my fork down. Rachel, let me ask you something. Is there someone already? Her eyes widened just enough. What? No. Why would you ask that? Because people don't usually pitch open marriages out of nowhere. They pitch them when they've already got someone in mind, and they want permission after the fact. That's not what this is, she said, but her voice climbed half an octave. Okay, I said. Then you won't mind if I check your phone. Her face went pale, then red. That's a violation of trust. So is asking your husband if you can fuck other men, I said flatly. But here we are. She stood up, chair scraping loud against the floor. I'm not doing this. You're twisting everything. Then prove me wrong, I said. Show me your phone. She grabbed it off the table and held it against her chest like a shield. No, you don't get to interrogate me. I'm not interrogating you, I replied. I'm asking a simple question. Is there someone else? You're being paranoid. And you're being evasive. I stood up too, calm and steady. Here's what's going to happen. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with an attorney. Not because I want a divorce, but because I need to know where I stand if this goes sideways. If you want to save this marriage, you'll drop this open relationship nonsense, and we'll work on us. If you don't, then we'll handle it like adults. Her mouth opened, closed, then opened again. You're seeing a lawyer? Friday morning. So you're threatening me. I'm preparing, I corrected. Big difference. She laughed, sharp and bitter. Unbelievable. I try to have an honest conversation about our needs, and you run to a lawyer. You try to have an honest conversation about sleeping with other people, I said. I'm having an honest conversation about protecting myself. We're both being honest. Isn't that what you wanted? What you wanted? She stared at me for a long moment, then turned and walked out of the kitchen. I heard the bedroom door close, then lock. I sat back down and finished my lasagna. It was good. She'd always been a good cook. Shame she couldn't apply the same attention to detail to her vows. Friday morning, I met Patricia Voss in her office downtown. She was in her 50s, sharp-eyed, with a handshake that meant business. Tell me what's going on, she said, pen ready. I told her everything. The Tuesday night proposal, the deflections, the phone grab, the whole mess. She listened without interrupting, then sat back in her chair. Do you want to save the marriage? I want her to stop asking for permission to cheat, I said. If she can do that, maybe. If she can't, then no. Patricia nodded. Fair. Here's what I need you to understand. If she's already involved with someone, and she's framing this as an open marriage, she's trying to legitimize something that's already happening. The fact that she won't show you her phone is a red flag the size of a house. I figured, I said. So here's the plan. You go home. You don't accuse her of anything you can't prove, but you document everything. Dates, times, conversations. If she leaves the house, note it. If she's secretive with her phone, note it. And if things escalate, you call me immediately. What about the house? The accounts. Don't touch them yet, she said. Don't give her ammunition to say you're hiding assets or being controlling. Keep everything normal on the surface. But I'll start drafting paperwork just in case. How much is this going to cost me? I asked. She quoted a retainer that made my stomach drop, but I paid it. Some things are worth the price. When I got home, Rachel was on the couch with her laptop, working, or pretending to work. Hard to tell. How was your morning? She asked without looking up. Productive, I said. She glanced at me. Did you really go to a lawyer? I did. And now I know my options, I replied. How was yours? She closed the laptop slowly. We need to talk. Agreed. She patted the couch next to her. I stayed standing. I've been thinking about what you said, she began. And you're right. I didn't handle this well. I shouldn't have sprung it on you like that. Okay, I said, waiting for the but. But I still think we need to address the fact that we're in a rut. We barely have sex anymore. We don't go out. We're roommates, not partners. And your solution is to bring in outside people instead of fixing what's broken between us. My solution, she said carefully, is to be honest about what we both need. What do you need, Rachel? She looked at me, and for a second, I saw something real behind the script she'd been rehearsing. Fear, maybe. Or guilt. I need to feel alive again, she said quietly. And I make you feel dead. That's not what I said. It's what you meant. I sat down in the chair across from her, not next to her. Let me ask you something, and I want a straight answer. Are you already seeing someone? She bit her lip. Define seeing. That was all I needed to hear. Define seeing, I repeated, voice flat. That's not a denial. That's a lawyer answer. It's not what you think, she said quickly. It's just, there's someone I've been talking to. At work. We got coffee a couple times. It's not physical. Yet. It's not going to be, she insisted. I told him I'm married. He knows. And he's okay with that. He understands that relationships are complicated. I laughed, cold and sharp. I bet he does. I bet he's very understanding. What's his name? She hesitated. Why does that matter? Because I want to know who my wife is planning to cheat on me with. I'm not cheating, she snapped. That's the whole point of having this conversation. I'm trying to do this the right way. The right way, I said slowly, would have been to come to me when you first started having feelings for someone else. To work on our marriage before you went looking for exits. But you didn't do that. You built a case, found a guy, and then asked for permission retroactively. She opened her mouth, closed it, then tried again. It's not like that. Then what's it like? It's like I've been unhappy for a long time, and I didn't know how to tell you without hurting you. So you decided the better option was to ask if you could fuck other people. She flinched. Stop saying it like that. How should I say it? I leaned forward. Dress it up however you want, Rachel. Open marriage, ethical non-monogamy, conscious uncoupling. At the end of the day, you want out of our bed and into someone else's. And you want me to smile and pretend it's enlightened. Tears welled in her eyes. I don't want to lose you. You already did, I said. You lost me the second you prioritized a stranger over your husband. He's not a stranger, she whispered. That hit different. How long? I asked. A few months. How many is a few? 4. For months. For months of coffee dates and text messages and whatever else she wasn't telling me. For months of coming home and pretending everything was fine while she built a side relationship behind my back. What's his name? I asked again. Tyler. Tyler, I repeated. And Tyler knows you're married. Yes. And he's fine with being the other man. It's not like that, she said again, weaker this time. It's exactly like that. I stood up. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to end it with Tyler. Today. Right now. You're going to text him, tell him it's over, and then you're going to block him. And then we're going to spend the next few months in counseling to see if there's anything left to save. She stared at me. And if I don't, then I file for divorce on Monday, and you can have all the open relationships you want. You're giving me an ultimatum. I'm giving you a choice, I corrected. Marriage or Tyler. You don't get both. She looked down at her phone, still in her hand. Her thumb hovered over the screen. I need time to think, she said. You've had 4 months to think, I replied. You've got 5 minutes to decide. The seconds ticked by. She didn't move, didn't text, didn't do anything except sit there with tears running down her face and her phone in her lap. At the 5-minute mark, I nodded. Okay, I said. That's your answer. I walked to the bedroom, pulled my suitcase out of the closet, and started packing. Clothes, toiletries, my laptop, the things I'd need for a few days. Rachel appeared in the doorway. What are you doing? Leaving, I said. You can have the house this weekend to figure out what you want. I'll be at Derek's. You don't have to leave. Yeah, I do. I zipped the suitcase and looked at her. Because if I stay, I'm going to say things I can't take back. And I'd rather leave with some dignity than stick around and watch you choose him. I didn't choose him, she said, voice breaking. You didn't choose me either. I picked up the suitcase. That's the problem. I walked past her, down the hall, and out the front door. I didn't slam it. I didn't look back. I just left. Derek's place smelled like pizza and old gym socks, but he didn't ask questions when I showed up. He just pointed to the couch, handed me a beer, and turned on a game. You want to talk about it? He asked after the first quarter. Not yet, I said. Fair enough. We watched the game in silence. Around the third quarter, my phone buzzed. Rachel, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Can we talk? I didn't respond. Another text came through 10 minutes later. I ended it with Tyler. I told him I need to focus on my marriage. Please come home. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back. I'll be home Sunday. We'll talk then. Derek glanced at me. She apologizing? Trying to, I said. You going back? Maybe, I said, but not the way I left. Sunday afternoon, I walked back into the house. Rachel was waiting at the kitchen table, red-eyed and small. Hi, she said. Hi. I sat down across from her. Show me your phone. She unlocked it and slid it across the table. I opened her messages. The conversation with Tyler was still there. The last message was from her. I can't do this anymore. I need to work on my marriage. Please don't contact me again. His response was a single word. Okay. I scrolled up. Months of messages. Good mornings. Inside jokes. Plans that never mentioned me. Photos I didn't want to see, but forced myself to look at anyway. I set the phone down. Did you sleep with him? No, she said. I swear. It never got physical. Did you want to? She didn't answer right away. That was answer enough. I thought about it, she admitted finally. But I didn't. Because you love me, or because you were scared of getting caught? She looked at me, tears spilling over again. Both. I nodded. Honest, at least. Okay, I said. Here's the deal. We're going to counseling. You're going to be completely transparent with me. Phone, computer, everything. If you're 5 minutes late coming home, you call. If someone texts you that I don't know, you show me. And if at any point I feel like you're lying or hiding something, I'm done. No second chances. No negotiations. I'm out. Okay, she whispered. I'll do whatever it takes. And one more thing, I added. You're going to write Tyler one more message. You're going to tell him that what you two had was wrong, that you betrayed your husband, and that you take full responsibility. You're going to own it. Not blame me for not being enough. Not frame it as personal growth. You're going to call it what it is. A mistake. Her face crumpled. That's cruel. That's accountability. I corrected. If you want me to trust you again, you start by being honest. Not just with me. With him too. She picked up her phone with shaking hands and typed. When she was done, she showed me. Tyler, I need to be clear about something. What we had was wrong. I betrayed my husband and my marriage. This wasn't about him not being enough. It was about me being selfish. I take full responsibility. I'm sorry I dragged you into this, but it's over. Please respect that. Send it, I said. She hit send. Then she blocked his number and deleted the thread. Done, she said. Good. I stood up. I'm sleeping in the guest room until further notice. We'll start counseling this week. Patricia recommended someone. I'll send you the info. Patricia? My attorney. Her face went pale. You're still seeing her? Until I'm sure we're going to make it, I said. Call it insurance. The next few weeks were the hardest of my life. Counseling sessions that felt like surgery without anesthesia. Rachel cried a lot. I stayed quiet. The therapist, a woman named Dr. Brennan, asked hard questions and didn't let either of us hide. Why did you seek validation outside your marriage? She asked Rachel in week 2. I felt invisible, Rachel said. Like I was just there, going through motions. And did you communicate that to your husband? Rachel looked at me. Not directly. Why not? I don't know. I guess I didn't think it would change anything. Dr. Brennan turned to me. Did you notice Rachel pulling away? Yeah, I said. But every time I asked, she said she was fine. So I believed her. Do you feel like you could have pushed harder? Maybe, I admitted. But I also feel like I shouldn't have to interrogate my wife to find out she's unhappy. That's something she should tell me. Rachel nodded, tears streaming. You're right. I should have. By week 4, we were talking again. Not like before, but talking. She answered my questions. Showed me her phone without me asking. Came home on time. Texted me updates even when I didn't need them. Slowly, carefully, I started to believe her. By week 8, I moved back into our bedroom. Not because everything was fixed, but because it felt like we were trying. Really trying. One night, lying in the dark, Rachel turned to me. Do you think you'll ever forgive me? She asked quietly. I don't know, I said honestly. I want to. But trust isn't something you rebuild in 2 months. I know. She was quiet for a moment. Thank you for not giving up. I almost did, I admitted. That Friday when you couldn't choose. I was ready to walk away and not look back. Why didn't you? Because I remembered the woman I married, I said. And I wanted to see if she was still in there somewhere. She reached for my hand in the dark. I let her take it. She is, Rachel whispered. I promise she is. 6 months later, we were in a different place. Not perfect, not without scars, but better. We went on dates again, talked about things that mattered, laughed at stupid jokes, had sex that felt like connection instead of obligation. Rachel got a new job, a lateral move that got her out of the office where Tyler worked. She didn't fight me on it. She just did it. I stopped checking her phone every day. Then every week. Eventually, I stopped checking it all. One Saturday morning, we were making breakfast together when she turned to me. I was thinking, she said. Maybe we should renew our vows. Not a big thing. Just us. A way to mark a new beginning. I flipped a pancake and thought about it. You want to make a promise you already broke? I want to make a promise I'll keep this time, she corrected. I looked at her. Really looked at her. The woman who'd almost destroyed us. The woman who'd also fought like hell to save us. Okay, I said finally. But I write my own vows. Deal. We renewed our vows on a Tuesday night in our backyard. No guests. No fancy clothes. Just us and a notary Derek knew who agreed to officiate. When it was my turn, I pulled out a folded piece of paper. Rachel, I said, 8 months ago, you asked me for something I couldn't give you. And in doing that, you broke something I didn't know could be broken. But you also taught me something important. Love isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up. And you got back up. You fought for us when it would have been easier to walk away. So here's my promise. I will love you on the days it's easy and the days it's hard. I will communicate when I'm hurt instead of shutting down. And I will forgive you every day until forgiveness becomes a habit. But if you ever betray me again, I'm gone. No second chances. No negotiations. That's not a threat. It's a boundary. And boundaries are how we keep love safe. Rachel was crying by the end. She nodded. I understand. Her vows were simpler. I promise to choose you. Every single day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. You are my husband. And that means something. We kissed. The notary clapped politely. Derek, who'd shown up uninvited with champagne, whistled like an idiot. That night, lying in bed, Rachel turned to me. Are we going to be okay? She asked. Yeah, I said. And for the first time in months, I believed it. But here's the thing about second chances. They come with fine print. 3 months after our backyard vows, I came home early from a job site. The project had finished ahead of schedule, and I wanted to surprise Rachel with dinner out. I walked in and heard her voice from the office. She was on the phone, laughing. The kind of laugh that makes your stomach drop. I stood in the hallway and listened. I know, she was saying. I miss you too. But we can't. You know that. Silence. It's not that simple anymore. He's different now. More present. More silence. I don't know. Maybe after the holidays. We'll see. I walked into the office. She spun around, eyes wide. I have to go, she said quickly and hung up. Who was that? I asked, voice calm. A friend, she said. From yoga. What's her name? Rachel blinked. Stephanie. Show me your call log. Her face went white. You said you trusted me. I said I was working on it. I corrected. Show me. She didn't move. Just stared at me with that look that said I'd caught her, and she was deciding whether to confess or double down. It's Tyler, isn't it? I said. It's not what you think. It never is. I pulled out my phone and called Patricia. She answered on the second ring. File the papers, I said. I'm done. Rachel lunged for the phone. Wait. Please. Just let me explain. I stepped back. You've got 30 seconds. He called me. She rushed out. Last week. Said he missed me. Wanted to know if we could talk. I told him no at first. But then he kept calling and I don't know. I answered. We've just been talking. That's all. I swear. And you didn't think I needed to know that your ex-boyfriend, the guy you almost left me for, was calling you? He's not my ex-boyfriend. Nothing physical ever happened. Semantics, I said. You're still lying to me. Still hiding things. After everything we went through. After vows we just made. She was crying now, full sobs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll block him right now. I'll never talk to him again. You said that before. I reminded her. I believed you then. I don't believe you now. I walked to the bedroom and started packing. Again. Rachel followed me. Please don't do this. I made a mistake. One mistake. Don't throw away everything we built. I didn't throw it away, I said, folding shirts. You did. Twice. I'll do anything, she begged. Anything you want. I stopped packing and looked at her. Move out. Tonight. Stay with a friend. When the papers are ready, I'll have them served. You can keep whatever you brought into the marriage. Everything else, we'll split down the middle. Don't fight me on it. Don't drag this out. Just go. This is my house too, she said, anger creeping into her voice. And you'll get your share, I said evenly. But you're not staying here tonight. You lost that right when you lied to me. Again. She stared at me, mascara running, chest heaving with sobs. Then something in her shifted. The tears stopped. Her face went cold. Fine, she said. You want me gone? I'm gone. But don't act like you're some saint. You checked out of this marriage long before I ever did. Maybe, I said. But I never cheated. Emotionally or otherwise. That's the difference. She grabbed a bag from the closet and started throwing clothes into it. You know what your problem is? You think love is a contract. Sign here, follow the rules, stay in your lane. But that's not love. That's control. And your version of love is what? Lying? Sneaking around? Keeping backup options? My version is being human, she snapped. Making mistakes. Trying to figure out what I need. Then go figure it out, I said. Just do it somewhere else. She zipped the bag and slung it over her shoulder. You're going to regret this. I doubt it. She walked to the door, paused, and turned back. I really did love you, you know. Past tense, I noted. Yeah, she said quietly. Past tense. The door closed. The house settled into silence. I sat on the edge of the bed and let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. My phone buzzed. Patricia, papers will be ready Monday. You did the right thing. I typed back. Thanks. See you Monday. Then I called Derek. Need the couch again? He asked. Nah, I said. I'm staying here this time. This is my house. Good man, he said. You want company? Tomorrow, I said. Tonight, I just want quiet. You got it. I hung up, stood, and walked through the house. Our house. My house now. I opened windows, let air in, turned on lights in every room. Then I went to the kitchen, poured myself a drink, and sat at the table where this all started. 8 months ago, Rachel had asked for an open marriage. I'd told her no. She'd done it anyway, just without the label. And when I'd given her a second chance, she'd proven that some people don't change. They just get better at hiding. But here's what I learned. Forgiveness is a gift, not a contract. You can forgive someone and still walk away. You can love someone and still protect yourself. You can give a second chance without promising a third. Rachel wanted an open marriage. So I opened the door and told her to leave. And you know what? The house felt lighter without her in it. The divorce was final 3 months later. Clean, quick, no drama. She didn't fight me on the terms. Maybe because she knew she didn't have a leg to stand on. Maybe because Tyler was waiting in the wings and she wanted to move on. I didn't ask. Didn't care. 6 months after that, I sold the house. Too many ghosts. Too many memories of a marriage that never really existed. I bought a smaller place across town. Fixed it up myself. Painted the walls colors I liked. Bought furniture that was comfortable instead of tasteful. Derek set me up on a few dates. Most of them were fine. One of them, a teacher named Lisa, turned into something real. She was direct, funny, grounded. She'd been through her own divorce and understood what it meant to rebuild. We didn't rush it. Didn't make grand promises. Just took it day by day. One night, about a year in, we were cooking dinner together when she asked, "Do you ever think about her?" Sometimes, I admitted. But not the way you'd think. I don't miss her. I just think about the lessons. What lessons? That love without respect is just dependence, I said. That forgiveness without boundaries is just enabling. And that the worst thing you can do is ignore your gut when it's screaming at you. Lisa nodded. Smart man. Educated man, I corrected. There's a difference. She laughed and kissed me. I'm glad she was stupid enough to let you go. Me too, I said. And I meant it. These days, I don't check phones. Don't monitor anyone's location. Don't set traps or tests. I just pay attention. And if something feels off, I ask. If I don't like the answer, I walk. It's that simple. Rachel wanted an open marriage. I gave her an open door. She walked through it twice. The second time, I didn't follow. And the life I built on the other side, it's mine. Fully, completely mine. No negotiations. No compromises. No wondering if I'm enough. Just peace. And that's worth more than any marriage that requires me to shrink myself to fit.